Hello and welcome back to the Beautiful Things channel. I am bringing you another what I have been sewing video. Now, I cleared out my winter wardrobe and put my summer wardrobe back in, as well as I've made some bits and pieces over the last few months, and there was a few things that I pulled out of my wardrobe that I can't actually remember if I've shown you, and this was one of them. So if I have shown you this before, apologies in advance, feel free to fast forward, but if I haven't, here it is. This is the Sew Over It Zadie blouse, and I made this using a chiffon from the shop, which was some of our dead stock fabric. I've put little buttons on there. I think I've cheated and sewed them on. Oh no, I haven't. I made actual buttonholes. That was impressive. Yeah, and I like it. This top, I'll be honest, we went to the Stitch Festival, not the last one, but the one before, and it was really nice to see all of the Sew Over It garments out on the racks. And I picked up the Zadie blouse and I thought, oh, that looks really nice. That would make a really lovely kind of loose fitting beach cover up. So I bought the pattern, came home and made it. But it comes up really true to size. I think the one that I saw at the stand must have been a really big size, because this is not an oversized caftan, but I think I could make a bigger one and then it would serve its purpose. I haven't really worn this one a lot. It is something I can kind of just wear with jeans. I do like the little Chinesey collar. I can't think what those kind of collar types are called. It's not Peter Pan, but I know what I mean. I do like that. I like the loose opening. The only thing I found quite tricky was binding these little areas here in the little loop, but that's just me and my inability to be able to do a proper binding. If you remember the Frankie shift dress that I showed in my last video, I completely ballsed up the back of that as well. However, I think I've mastered it. I have something else to show you in a minute. So yeah, overall a nice make. Sandra's made this as well, I think. A couple of the people in our sewing group have made it. It is a nice one. It is super comfy, nice just to chuck on with a pair of jeans. And I like it. It's got some nice little pleaty details in the back as well, which are quite nice on the yoke. So no it hasn't. I'm lying. It's a raglan. That's what I like about it. It's a raglan. It's so long ago since I sewed this, I've forgotten how it even goes together, but it has got little nice bit of shaping around here. I think it's got a little dart or a little pleat somewhere. It's got something in it I like. I can't quite remember, but it is raglan, so it's nice and easy, quick to put together, so would recommend. This next one is an old favourite. How many more Esty tops can one person get? I know. But this is a little remnant. I actually don't know where I got this from. I can't remember. It's really pretty. It's like a kind of a crepey fabric. I have no idea where I got it from. I can't remember. It was too small to make anything with, even an Esty. I have had to cut the back in two and not on the fold and join it together, but that's something that you can do if you don't have quite the right amount of fabric. If you don't mind having a seam up the back, then you can always cut a pattern piece that should be done on the fold, but just make sure that you leave enough seam allowance on that fold line so that you can join the two pieces of fabric together. I had enough fabric to be able to do the facings in one, I think. Yes, and I've done them out of matching fabric as well. So you can normally squeeze a top out of something really quite small, but sometimes you have to play a bit of fabric Tetris, which is what I've done with this one. I've just used a rolled hem on the bottom from my overlocker. I always wear these tops tucked in. I know I've got it out today, but I always wear these tucked in and bagged out over jeans and shorts. So to keep the maximum amount of length in the pattern so that I've got room to tuck it out, I just did a little overlocked hem on the bottom. Didn't worry about turning that under because no one's ever going to see it. So nice little Esty top, will look really cute with jeans. There you go. Let's tuck it in and show you what it looks like tucked in with jeans or shorts. Nice little cami for the summer. Ta-da! Here we have my second Frankie shift dress by Sew to Grow Patterns. I love this one. This is the one that I said I was going to sew up in my last video. It is in a Lady McElroy linen, which was an absolute dream to work with. It is so soft, it goes together beautifully, it presses really nicely, and it made the world of difference when I was making this dress. I wasn't using horrible bouncy scuba-y weird stuff that just didn't want to do what it was supposed to do. I have done a tiny little rolled hem on my overlocker and then turned it under to get a really nice little neat finish on the fluttery sleeves. It's got its lovely big deep pockets, and then the thing, if you haven't seen my previous Frankie shift video, that I love about it is these little ties that you can either tie loosely or you can pull them in and really cinch yourself in. So if you're like me and you're bigger busted and a traditional shift style dress just doesn't suit you, then this one is for you. It's got all the comfort of the shift, but you can cinch it in without having to wear a belt, and I do absolutely love this. I'm going to have a look and see what other prints Lady McElroy do their linen in, because this is just, honestly, it's buttery soft. It's really cool. It's going to be lovely for summer, for the evenings. It's going to keep me lovely and cool. And I do think I'm going to make another one without the flutter sleeves, because then it will just be just a nice little shift. And I have to show you, if I can get you to see this, I don't know, because can't see backwards, but I mastered the little loop. Hopefully you can see that. Ta-da! I mastered the binding. Do you know what I did? I read the instructions. I know I never do things like that. So yes, Frankie shift by Sew to Grow with fluttery sleeves, I think is an absolute winner, and I'm going to be making lots more of these. You can also make it as a top as well, so you don't have to put the big pockets in and just do it as a top, which is a nice alternative as well. So there's 3 different variations to this pattern, with the sleeves, without the sleeves, as a dress or as a top. So that's 4. There's 4 variations. Girl math. Okay, next up. So there's a bit of a story behind this one. It's not got pockets. Oh, it's got to go. It's got to go. It's not got pockets. The lovely Linda came into the studio, must have been this time last year, with a gorgeous dress that she had bought. It was red with white anchors all over it, and I can't think what make it was now, but it was like, is it Lindy Bop? One of the kind of retro redesign kind of companies, and she'd bought it and she'd had somebody fit it, tailor it in a little bit for her, and she wanted to make another one. So I didn't have any idea what kind of patterns to put together. I looked at it and it looked fairly straightforward, and this was my downfall. It looked fairly straightforward. So I said to her, well, let's have a go at recreating it using your dress. We'll make the pattern pieces. It looked like it had just 2 fronts and a back. You can see it's a grown on sleeve and 2 big rectangles with some pleats for a skirt. The buttons have actually been sewn right through. They're just for decoration. You don't actually need them. It goes over your head. And then it's got this big collar, which to me looks like it was all kind of part of the pattern. You can see it's just a shape here. However, when I tried to put together this dress, bearing in mind this is the wearable toile, thankfully the dress fitted me as well, so I get to keep the wearable toile. Yeah, I had a beast of a time. So we made a toile out of calico and we put that together, or tried to put that together. It was the back of the collar that I found really hard. It had a straight back. I don't even know if you can see it. Maybe you can. Let's try. It's got, I feel it, it's got a straight bit here and then it comes down, and it was this bit here that I found really, really hard, because I worked out that you needed to sort of work out the exact pivot point, or put some kind of weird little pleat in there to get it to go, because you have the dress, but then it's the facing that goes on the inside that forms the upper collar, that was the part that was the fiddliest to get in, and I really, really struggled. I think I must have made about 4 or 5 calico toiles to get this collar right before I went on and made this wearable toile with Linda, and then she has gone on to make another version of the dress. So it's been a very long work in progress. I had hoped that I would get to nail this and nail it enough that I could potentially release it as a pattern, but I just don't have the skills. I'll be entirely honest, I don't have the skills. We have fudged this collar back bit. I'm sure there are patterns out there that I could read and look at to work out how to do it. So if any of you have a pattern that you can recommend that has this shawl collar that goes onto a bodice and then forms the facing that goes down to the inside as well, please let me know, because I'd love to have a look at the instructions just to see how they tackle that back collar piece and how they've put it together, because it does have potential. I took it out of my wardrobe initially and thought, actually I'm going to send that to the charity shop, I don't think I'll ever wear it. But now that I've put it on again, I do really like it, but it does need some pockets. The actual pattern had big patch pockets here, so I could just sew those on, because this is just a black bed sheet that we used. You'd never know, I love a bed sheet dress. But yeah, now that I've put it back on again, I do really like it. It is really nice, it's very floaty. It's good for the summer, and you could always put a belt on it as well and cinch it in a little bit. But yeah, thought I would show you. Sometimes you can think something's easy, but then when it comes to actually making it, it's not easy at all. So I've got one last thing to show you. This is actually the first time that I've tried this on. Yet another Sirocco jumpsuit, but I had to show it to you. This one has slightly shorter sleeves than I would like. I was playing chicken with some selvage, but I do like it. It is quite a thick scuba, so it's a funny one. I think for the English summer it will be fine, and as much as it is a beautiful colour and would be lovely on holiday, I think the 2 places I'm going on holiday this year are just going to be too hot for it. But yes, it is lovely. This is Scuba. It was picked up from the London D-Stash, the fabric swap in London that I went to recently. So if this is your fabric, please let me know in the comments. You can see what it's been turned into. I do really love it. It's super bright and cheerful. I mean, thankfully these big roses aren't here, but you know, it's lovely. Really, really pretty. So yes, Deer and Doe Sirocco jumpsuit. I've only got this one because I did a live Zoom class recently with some of my pupils, and they all made Siroccos with me over a couple of weeks. So I had to obviously make one as well, because you can't instruct people online without showing them what you're doing. So I ended up adding to my wardrobe. So not sure when I'm going to wear this one, but I'm going to put it back in the wardrobe, and I'm sure an event will arise in which it is suitable for me to wear. But yeah, so that's everything that I've been sewing over the last few weeks. I've got a few more plans over the next couple of months, but I have been busy behind the scenes making some non-garment related sewing, so I'm going to film another video about that separately and put it up for you in a little while. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I tend to post sporadically. I'm not one of these people who can post weekly. I'm sorry, I'm just too busy. But yes, so if you hit the subscribe button, then you should get a little notification when my next video pops up. And I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.